Hey everyone, welcome to another video. And in this video, we have Aditi with us. Aditi is a student at UT Dallas. Aditi, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you're doing currently, and yeah, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, sure, I'd love to. Hi guys, I'm really excited to be on your channel today. My name is Aditi Deshpande. I'm a graduate student at the University of Texas at Dallas, and I'm pursuing business analytics. So, I did my first semester of business analytics from India. Due to COVID-19, I couldn't go in person, so I did it from here. And a little bit about me is that I'm from Nashik, and I was born and brought up in the US. I lived in Kentucky for the most part of my life. And then in the seventh grade, I moved back to India and I did my undergrad from COEP. For those of you who don't know, College of Engineering, Pune. Yeah, that's a little bit about me, and I'm really happy to share my experience with you guys today.
So, tell us a little bit why you chose the US. I get it, like you were born there and it
Yeah.
makes sense, but why you chose the US, which all universities you applied to, and how being a US citizen made it easier or made it difficult for you? Tell us
Okay.
a little bit about that.
Okay, so I chose the US mostly because obviously the first part is I'm a US citizen. So I didn't have to go through the whole process, right, of getting the visa and then getting the green card. And that's such a long and tedious process. So
Yeah.
I get to skip the whole thing. So that's the first part. And also just the job opportunities and the kind of educational experience you get and the lifestyle. It's just, you can compare it to India, right?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
see, I get it, like you were born there and you were there until 13th, as you mentioned. 13th, like you're 13, right? As you
Yeah.
mentioned. So,
Yes.
how, like, I'm guessing if you're comfortable sharing this, like, I'm sure people will be curious. How was
Yeah.
your experience transitioning from US to India?
Yeah, it was pretty difficult at first because I had to adjust. In India, there's more of a family culture, and in the US, it's more of like a independent, nuclear family. So it was kind of hard at first, but then yeah, I got used to it, and I got into one of the best colleges in India in undergrad. So that is one of the things that I'm proud of. And now
Yeah,
I get to
and
go
then,
back.
and do you still have a Indian citizenship, or it's a dual citizenship, or you don't
No,
have
it's
any Indian citizenship?
I have a US citizenship. I have a US passport, and I have an OCI card. So it's a thing called Overseas Citizen of India. So I have that as well. So it's dual citizenship.
Right. Okay. Uh, Tell us which all universities did you apply for?
Okay. Let me refer to my list because I don't want to miss
Sure. Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me go to that part. Okay. So I applied to Indiana University Bloomington, SUNY Buffalo, Arizona State University, Michigan Tech, Rutgers, Illinois Institute of Technology, NYU, and USC.
Was there a reason why you chose these universities? Was it because of your profile, or was it because of your that you wanted to go to these states?
Okay.
What was your thought process
Yeah.
behind this?
So I did like a whole lot of research because it's such an extensive process, researching the universities. So I made a Google sheet on it,
Right.
and I listed on various factors like the state, and then the cost of living, the course duration, whether it's a 1 year course, 2 year course, and then the tuition fees, and whether be getting any scholarship or not. So I listed all those factors, and then I classified them as safe, moderate, and ambitious. And yeah, that's how I went about it.
So share with us like your academic background. What was your GRE like? What was your GPA like? What was
Mhm.
your TOEFL like?
Okay. So my GRE was 320. I got 167 quant, 153 verbal, and 4.5 analytical writing. My TOEFL was 110, in which I got a full in speaking. And my GPA was a 6.8 on 10. And I know like 6.8 is not a good GPA, honestly speaking. But there were many factors. There were extracurricular activities, and then there were some personal reasons as well. So I could have done much better. And if I had known like earlier that grades are important, then I would have just gotten a much higher GPA. But
Right.
I covered that up with parts of my application like SOP, LORs, and extracurriculars as well.
Right. 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 Why did you choose business analytics? Like, what was the thought process behind that? What did you do in your undergrad? First, share that.
Yeah, in my undergrad, so I did information technology. That was my major. I did several mini projects, and I did my BTech project was in sentiment analysis, and I did one internship as well. So I did web development in a startup in Pune. So yeah, I did that. Also, I did a lot of curricular activities in college. Like I was ahead in the entrepreneurship cell of my college. I did boat club. COP is one of the two colleges in India which has a boat club. I did that,
So
and
what is a boat club?
you can like do various things like kayaking and punting and like
Oh, I see. Okay.
canoeing. I did
Right.
that.
Interesting. Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
Right. Right. So why did you do business? Like, why did you choose business analytics to be a
Hmm.
major?
Okay, so I knew from the beginning that I didn't want to do software engineering. The core, what people do is they just do computer science in general, right? But with business analytics, you can go into like different fields. You can do product management, you can be a business analyst, you can be a data scientist, you can be a data analyst. So there's so many career paths available. And it's like a mix of coding and also management. So I think that was a better option for me because being in these extracurricular activities, it's helped mold me into someone who I love to communicate with people, and I love communication, that part of it. So I didn't want to go into core software development.
Right. Right. Right.
That's why.
I see. Okay. Uh, so during your undergrad process, tell us what were the three things you did in terms of your academics, in
Hmm.
terms of what you could have done better, or you think like these are the
Oh,
lessons learned from my academic.
okay.
Share with
Definitely.
the students which they should avoid or which they should adapt. Any best
Okay.
practices, so as to say.
So the first thing, which obviously I mentioned before, is my GPA. So 6.8 is not good, right? Anything below 8 is not a good GPA. So I would recommend to keep your GPA above 8, 8.5 to be on the safer side. Because the first thing that the universities see when they see your profile is your grades, right? And then if you don't have good grades, you have to give a really good reason in your SOP as to why you couldn't perform well. So to avoid all that, you should just get good grades in the beginning, attend
Right.
classes, and don't bunk classes. Because what I did is there was this one semester where I just didn't attend classes because of ESEL, because I was ahead. So I had to manage a lot of activities. So I just bunked that semester. So don't do that. And that was the first thing, get good grades. The second one is from undergrad itself, you should have a LinkedIn account. LinkedIn is just so important, not just for internships and job searching, but for building connections with people. Like that's how I found Parth, in fact. So
Oh,
yeah, you
awesome.
should
I
get a
thought
LinkedIn account.
you found me through YouTube. I didn't know
Yeah,
people
yeah.
found me through LinkedIn as well.
YouTube also, or LinkedIn, I don't remember, one of them.
Okay.
But you should get a LinkedIn account as soon as you can and just connect with seniors, because seniors are just super helpful. Connect with industry professionals and connect with HR managers. And not just in graduate school, you should do that in undergraduate as well. And which I should have realized much sooner. So that's second. And third is that you should start, competitive programming from third year or fourth year. So there are so many sites, like there's HackerRank, there's LeetCode, CodeChef. So I think if I would have done that a little bit sooner, then that would have
Right.
been better. Yeah.
I see. I see. Yeah. No, I get it. Give me 1 second. Sorry. S- Sorry, Aditi. Give me 1 second. Okay. Um, I don't know where. Like suddenly a video started playing on my
Is it
headphones.
my?
No,
It's not my.
it's on my end.
Oh, okay.
All right. I think we should be good.
How am I doing?
You're going a little fast. Are you nervous?
No, no. This is
Or
my
this
speaking
is
speed.
okay, okay. No, no, no. As in like uh your speaking speed is fine. You're just and that's a good thing. You're succinct with your answers. You're very like brief with your answers, which is to the point. I love it. Uh so I saw that you did a couple of internships, w- like, but you did not do any work experience. Why did you decide to go right away to business analytics, and why did you not do any like work experience in India?
Okay, so I didn't really sit for campus placements because I was 100% sure that I wanted to do MS.
Right,
And because I feel like if I would have done a job in India and done the usual route, people do what they do is they do 4 years undergrad, then they do a job for 2 years, and then they go for masters or whatever. But then I feel that if you have that break in studying, then you don't have that motivation to go back to school.
Correct.
And
100%.
I didn't want that break to happen, because if it would have happened, then I don't think I would have really gotten a chance to go to grad school.
Right.
So
And it makes sense for you, right? Especially like since you are already a US citizen, you would want to
yeah,
live there. You have that freedom to be moving around. I would have
yeah,
done that honestly myself.
yes.
So in UT Dallas, did you receive any scholarship or any in-state aid or anything like that?
Yeah, yeah. So in UT Dallas, in the JSOM school, Jindal School of Management,
Right.
there's this Dean's Excellence Scholarship. So if you get the scholarship, you get a 50% scholarship for the first 2 semesters. So for fall 2020 and spring 2021, I got a 50% scholarship.
I
So
see.
like if the tuition fees is like $16,000 for a semester, I have to pay only $8,000. So that is just such a relief for me, because I didn't want to give that financial burden to my parents. And it
Right.
doesn't make sense also, right? Because if I'm the one who's pursuing graduate school, why should my parents have to pay the money?
That's a great
So
point. Also, since COVID has happened and your classes are online, did UTD reduce your fees at all or no?
no, no, I did not reduce the fees. The
That's a
fees are
little,
the same.
yeah,
So
that's a little scammy, man. Like, because you're not
yeah,
using
yes,
any of the services at the university, why should you
exactly.
still pay 8,000 bucks? I
But the only thing that is reduced is the living expenses. So all that money that I would have spent there saved, I guess.
That is true. That is true. That is definitely true. So, how was your internship experience in India?
Internship searching, yeah. So that is just a whole another thing. I think that internship searching is just, it's very difficult, and you have to start from the first day itself. So I started from August. There are some companies like Amazon which recruit early on, right? So you have to start applying really soon, and you have to start searching on the website for the dates.
Right.
So I started applying in August, and I applied to like about 2 or 3 companies a day. So I think that instead of applying to like 1,000 companies, it's better to apply for a few companies, but like target your application.
Right.
And US companies, they use this ATS. You must be knowing, right? The
Yep.
applicant tracking system. So yeah, it's very common there. And if your resume doesn't fit the criteria of the ATS, then it gets rejected. So I think that is very important to work on your resume and just like read the job description. And if there are some keywords, like if they want a data analyst, or they want machine learning engineer, or they want like certain number of years of work experience, then you should put those things in your resume. And also you should follow the format which is like best suits you, because some formats are better for some people and some are better for others, right? So you should just like experiment and see which is best for you.
Right. Uh, did you have to mention that you're a US citizen on your resume?
uh, yeah, I had to mention that at the bottom, like there's a criteria. So I had to mention that I'm eligible to work in the US with no restriction.
Right, 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 right. So you said you worked at the eCell. Like, tell us a little bit about that. How was your
Yes,
experience with the companies and with the entrepreneurship? Like, I,
yes,
I guess students starting their own businesses and stuff. How was
yeah.
that?
So I was very fortunate in the third year of engineering. I was a head of alumni outreach. So I had to contact the alumni from COEP, and I had to raise funds for the cell. And also we started our own kind of startup. So me and 15 other members, so we were 16 students, we started a festival called Pune Startup Fest. And it was basically like an extravagance of 100 different startups. And there were investors, mentors, and students. And we got, actually, one of the startups there got 2 crore rupees of funding.
Wow,
So
that's a lot of money, huh?
yeah, that's a lot of money. And you were recognized like everywhere. We were in Sakal newspaper, Lokmat Times, and even like the director of COEP, Ahuja sir, he congratulated us like in
So
person.
it was all you guys. It never happened before, and that's all
No,
of
no.
you started.
Yeah, you can check the website also, Pune Startup Fest. It's
Yeah,
on there as well.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Like that's really good. So, like currently you're studying online. How is your experience studying and taking courses online? Is your classes
Okay.
at late at night?
Yes,
And
late at night.
share like how was your experience with interviewing for the companies which you got internship in?
Okay, so first I'll tell about the classes part of it. So I had 4 classes, and all of them were online because of COVID. So there were different timings. Most of them were at night, like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. So my sleep schedule was totally messed up.
Right.
Um, so I think that UT Dallas has handled this pandemic really well. We have two options. We have asynchronous and we have synchronous. So asynchronous means that you can attend the classes whenever you want to, like you can watch the recorded lectures. And synchronous means that the teacher will teach and you attend the classes at the same time that he's teaching.
I see. Okay.
So those two options were there. And also, yeah, I think everything else is mostly the same. It
Was
was
it
on
like a
Microsoft Teams.
how does your classes, what do you call,
Hmm.
bifurcation looks like? Is there a lot of American students, a lot of Indian students, or a lot
Oh,
of
no, no. UT is filled with Indians. Like in my
yeah,
class,
that's
if
true.
there's like a strength of 100, like 70 or 75 of them will be Indians. And
How do you
many
feel about that?
Chinese. I feel that there should be more variety, in fact, because see, if you're gonna go to the US and you're gonna stay with Indians and just
That's a
live with
problem.
Indians, then I could have just stayed in India, right? I mean, that
Do
is
you
a
have
problem with any.
sorry, you go. Yeah, that is a problem anywhere. I completely agree. So is it difficult to do assignments, or is it the only problem which you see with the online classes is that the time difference and because you have to
Time
stay up
difference.
late, right?
Yeah, because we
Uh,
had this one project where there was one American in a class, one Chinese person, and then two Indians. So we had to like just the time differences in that.
right,
In the so
right. About your internship experience, like the interview. Sorry, how was that?
okay, so for Charles Schwab, I had three rounds. So the first round was a basic HR screening. So the lady found me and then she sent me an email that she wanted to have a phone interview. So it was a half an hour phone screening. And she talked about the logistics of the internship and about my resume, about my coursework, and just very, very basic questions. So I knew I'd pass
Right,
that round. So that round was on September 18th. So, and then the next round was on October 6th. So that was very technical. So they asked each and every single detail of my resume, my projects, what technologies I used, and then there was a screen, and I had to write a pseudocode like for the question that they gave me. So they gave me like, for example, a question on like a linked list or like on MySQL, and I had to write the pseudocode on a piece of paper and then show them. So that was very tough, and it was at 2 in the morning, so everyone was
oh
sleeping, and
no,
it was like pitch silent, and I'm giving my interview at night.
right, right,
And
yeah,
I didn't
that
tell my
must be.
family about it because I thought they'd like freak out. So I just told them after
Oh
I got the
yeah,
internship.
right. How did they feel?
They were very happy because Charles Schwab is such an amazing company.
Correct, yeah,
Yeah,
that's a really good
and they were
firm.
happy.
Yeah, no, that's great. So, how does your peer feel like? Like, because did a lot of people at UTD already got internships, or they are still having issues
Um,
with that?
I think they're still having issues with that because I think until you get your F1 visa, you can't apply for internships. If I'm not wrong.
Oh, I
So
see. That is true.
so many of the students hadn't gotten their visas until like October or November. So after that, then they started applying. So by the time they started applying, I had already gotten my internship.
Right, yeah. Huh. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is something. Okay, so another question I had for you is if I'm a student who's planning to do business analytics, what should I be learning right now as a third year or second year student in college?
So I think you should start learning tools which you need for business analytics. So Python is a must, R programming language, and MySQL. So there are many courses online which I used. I used Coursera, I used DataCamp. LinkedIn Learning also is very helpful, and you can add their certificates to your LinkedIn profile as well. So that is there. And also, as I mentioned before, HackerRank has different levels. Like there's a basic, medium, and advanced level, and then you can get the certificate for that as well. Also, you can go to kaggle.com, and there you can download data sets of various topics, and you can just kind of experiment with the data set, play around with the data, and you can just publish whatever you've done on LinkedIn. Like if you've done some kind of algorithm, you've done some kind of analysis, you can publish that as well. So yeah, it's very important to start getting noticed on LinkedIn right from like second year, third year itself.
Right. Uh, any like one more thing I had was you have studied in the US, you have studied in
Yeah.
India, and now you're studying in
Yes.
the US again.
Mm.
What's the difference? which you see is like a major no-no or is a major negative part while studying
Hmm.
in India and while
Right.
studying in the US?
So in India, I think they have a lot of emphasis given on rote learning, right? So like we have one unit test and then we have the second unit test and we have an end semester exam and then that's all. So people can easily pass by just studying, 1 week before the exam and then that's all.
Right.
They get good grades. But in the US, you have like weekly assignments and you have, for each subject, you have weekly assignments, you have tests and you have group projects. So I think it's much better, the teaching and learning process, because you get to continuously learn throughout the semester, right?
Right, right, right. That is
Correct.
true. Anything else you'd like to tell
Oh.
students who are planning to come? Any other thing which you'd like to share? Anything which I have missed and you really want to share to students, to incoming students? Any
Mhm.
tips, tricks, or advice?
Yeah, I would say just internship searching, start applying early, start applying as soon as you can, and keep working on your resume again and again, and until you find something which works for you. And just be confident because in the interviews, the employers really look for confidence. And one thing I forgot to mention is I use the STAR method. Have you heard of it?
The
Situation,
what?
task, action, result. STAR method.
I have heard about it. I don't remember it all. I've heard about
So
it, but
some companies tell you before that you have to answer questions in the STAR method. So you should like come up with a few stories of yourself where you've done something using that method, and you should tell that in your interview. So that's very important.
right, that is interesting because I guess if companies are not even mentioning it explicitly, you should kind of adapt
Yeah,
it so that you are more
yeah, you
prepared for
should
every
adapt it.
question.
Hmm.
Right. That is very
That's
interesting.
there.
Thank you. I think that's it, Aditi. Anything, if you want to share with students any kind of resources, feel free
Hmm.
to send it to me. I'll add it in the description.
Resources, yeah. I'll just add my LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
So you
Okay.
can send me a connection request if you want to ask me anything about, UT Dallas, about business analytics, or about, if there are any US citizens who want to ask me questions about the
Yeah.
process, anything.
How? So do you must have friends in the US? Are you excited to go and meet them
Yes, I
again?
have so many friends in the US. There's one of my best friends is an American, in fact. Like
Or
Kendall, if you're
do
watching.
you visit US often or no?
No, I haven't visited since I came here.
Oh, no way. That's a long time, huh?
Yes, but yeah, my best friend lives there, and she used to invite me every year for Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah, that must be nice that you're going again on the 29th. Are you going alone?
Yeah, I'm going alone, sadly.
Okay, yeah.
It's
Well,
fine.
yeah, it is what it is, but at least something to look forward to. At least you have friends and you have
Yeah.
lived here, so it's much easier in terms of adjusting to your new space. But I'm sure you'll have fun. Good luck with everything, and
Thank
thank
you
you so
so
much
much.
for doing this. Uh, this will be really helpful for incoming students.
Yes, I hope so.
All right, thank you guys for watching this one. Please find all the links in description, and until then, we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.